Well, I started off on the wrong foot and went with what I saw in the PLC program, and it just made one more convoluted issue after another. And the main reason why I came up with this design is because I realised that although the two level 4 needed to be hailed to ensure that when the car went past door zones, it wouldn't open the door, that could be bypassed if someone held the open door button as the car was passing one of the levels. So in the door zone momentarily. So I like to make things not only foolproof but also idiot proof. So I really had to start again with a whole different type of thinking. And I came up with this, and I've done it with the lines already, so I can just hit this forward arrow here and of course hail it to level 4 to begin with. That brings in the off delay timer. We'll talk about the timing of 6 seconds there in a minute. That's in relation to the door zone, of course. So that brings in T2 here. Right, now nothing happens, of course, because we're waiting for T1, which is door zone. Now door zone closes. Now this could be momentarily passing, and that'll activate that, but it's set for 4 seconds, and it's not going to take 4 seconds to pass, say, level 4. It's going to take maybe half a second. So that will go off instantly if it's just passing. But if it stops there, 4 seconds later, T1 turns on here at the where we want the thing to open. And guess what? T2 is still on, right? Because it's for 6 seconds. That's where that time comes from. And that brings in our open door contact, and it raises the door. It also turns on the on delay, which is our upper limit switch replacement for 25 seconds. And that's also, that on delay is much better than an off delay, which it was before. It was ridiculous having an on off delay. Makes it so much more simple on a number of levels. Now anyway, that brings in C1, which is a holding contact for the open door. And the door's going up. That means that this off delay, as we know, to level 4 is going to turn off very soon. And that off delay for 6 seconds can now turn off. So it replicates basically pressing a button. It's momentarily on, it's just timed perfectly, and now this thing is holding in and opening. Then eventually, after 25 seconds, the on delay turns on, and here its contact is a normally closed, it opens. And that opens our open door contactor, which then releases the hold-in contact. And that then, of course, turns off our on delay, which is why it's so much better to have an on delay than an off delay, which then turns off our normally closed of timer 3. And that is the door open. Now, we come along and press the button because it's still at level 4 because it's in the door zone. As you can see, on delay timer 1 is on. Now we press the open door. Now we don't need to hold that button for an extended period of time, like 2 seconds, as it was in the PLC program. That was messing with my head. I really had trouble dealing with that, bypassing it and things like that. This is automatic bypass because T1 does all your work here at the start. Once it's at the level, you don't need to repeat the timing down again. So you hit open door, it goes straight to the open door contactor, it goes up instantly. You don't need to put your finger on the button for 2 more seconds. You can just touch it and off again, and off it goes. So this is great, and of course that brings in the on delay and the hold-in contact. So now the button goes off with the release, and it repeats itself all over again. But let's say it doesn't time out 25 seconds. Now this is another reason why the on delay is so good. Let's say someone hits the door stop. Okay, now guess what happens? C1 drops out, its holding contact drops out, and guess what else? That means your on delay also drops out and it resets to 0, and you don't have to wait 25 seconds. It's just all inherently built into this. And then of course, someone closes the door stop and it's ready to start again. Now, what have I got here? It's gone away from level 4. Okay, everything's off now. Okay, now it's not at level 4, we want maintenance. So we hit the maintenance button wherever it is, and that closes and that opens. Now we're completely bypassing the circuit. The only thing left in it is a closed door interlock from the other door close contactor. Well, that's same thing. I call it a contactor. I'm talking about it as if it's hardwired. Okay, there it is. So you can't press both buttons at the same time and expect to get results, because if that's closed, one of them's going to pull in before the other, and that interlock is going to come in one way or the other. Now that prevents, of course, running it up and down at the same time. Now that door open will become like a jog button. As you can see, I've got a dotted line here going like that. It's a jog button in maintenance mode, and there's no timing involved with it whatsoever, which is also inherently with this design. So there's no worries about trying to bypass the 2-second delay here and whatnot whenever you press a button. So much more simple. Kick to goal. I can't fault this one like I could the other one was just... Ugh. Anyway, now it's door closed. See you later.